was feeling like I'm going to die. Included Ladakh and Kashmir and Jammu and Himachal Pradesh.
Himachal Pradesh.
Who I am? I have no idea.
Hey guys, welcome back once again to another video. So this is going to be my first podcast. It's gonna be a little long, but make sure you watch it till the end because it is one of the special episode that I'm shooting on special occasion of Women's Day. So today I have an incredible woman with us. Uh, my words won't be enough to introduce her. So ma'am.
My name is Pilar.
Mhm.
I am half Spanish and half Italian,
Mhm.
and I live in Spain, but also right now in Rome. And I work and I study. I accompany an old lady, and so I'm reading for her. She talks several languages, and fortunately, me too. So we can read sometimes nice poems in English and in Italian and in Spanish. And I also work as a sculptor. I do clay objects.
Like the one you have made, this, right?
Well, that's just the beginning. And I also study because for me, studying is a lifetime project, and I really enjoy very much getting through things. And I study philosophy. I had a degree in philosophy, and now I'm doing a master on practical philosophy, but especially, and I have my heart there, Indian philosophy. I mean, I study the different darshans, but also mostly the meaning of what India may represent nowadays.
Mhm. Thank you for your introduction, ma'am. So, as you said that, may I know your age, ma'am?
Oh, 61.
61.
Okay.
So, in your pursuing your masters in philosophy field, right? So, ma'am, at this particular age, everybody quits studies and tries to retire at this particular age, right? In India, also the retirement age is of 60 years.
Okay.
So, what thing motivates you to study masters at this age?
Well, I think that age and time is a value which is very personal,
Mm-hmm.
and it also depends on what happened in your life. And because of all the things that started somehow and then um, broke, or something happened, and you cannot fill that path, so you have to start again, not from zero but from another point. And studying was like the good way to hold um, the thread of something that is interesting for you. So I studied when I was in a French school, philosophy, and then I wanted to continue because philosophy is just the beginning of the way you can see the world, or it's the opportunity to be in touch with interpretation of what's going on.
That's really great. Thank you. So now let's talk about your travel journey. So how many countries or places have you visited till now?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I can, of course, I may count them, but because traveling is important, it's very interesting, but very often you start in one point and life, things happen.
Mm-hmm.
For example, I get divorced, so I left. I was living in Italy, so I left and I went to Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Then in Spain, I spent like 15 years in between Zaragoza, Madrid, and then I get married again.
Mm-hmm.
But my husband passed away.
Oh, so sad.
So he was a wonderful photographer
Mhm.
from Cuba.
From Cuba.
And when he left, after 1 year, I was so sad, and I was feeling like I'm going to die. But because I don't want to die, I decide to to start a journey to answer to that question.
Mhm.
My son is going to study abroad, so now I am alone at home,
Mhm.
and in that house I just can see the phantom of my son and the phantom of my past husband.
Mhm.
So that's exactly what I don't want to see because it's sad.
It's
And I think that we have to live with grace. So I said, that's it. Everything is gone.
Mhm.
Then I had, I quit the job because I was working in Madrid, tourism for, well, so they change a lot of things and they say, okay, that's it. Thank you very much. So it was over. And then they increased the rent of the house I was living on. My son was gone. My husband passed away, so nothing was there. And it was wonderful because it was the opportunity to start a new life.
It was the dark phase of your life.
Yes. So I said, I have to answer one question. And the question is, after 20 years being a mom,
Mhm.
being a spouse, who I am, I have no idea. So what you can do in that case is just check. And how do you check? You
Mhm.
start, am I that? Do I like that?
Mhm.
So you start step by step doing things.
Mhm.
And at the time, I knew that it was meaningful to stay in a place where you feel sad. So what I had one question: where could I feel better?
Mhm.
And because my husband was from South America,
Mhm.
I said, okay, let's see what's going there. So I was craving to study photography.
Mhm.
At the time, I was studying in my university philosophy online also,
Mhm.
and everything was online, so I could live everywhere. So I start from Venezuela,
Mhm.
and I met my husband friends, and I start to understand things of how was his life before we met. And it was wonderful because it was as if I was meeting him in
Mhm.
another place,
Through his friends.
through his friends,
Mhm.
through his past.
Oh, got it.
And he made an exhibit before dying, and the exhibit was called um, Footsteps of a Lost World. And it was the houses of fishermen
Mhm.
in the coast of Venezuela. So I took the pictures and I said, I'm thankful to these people because it was the last thing he wanted to do, to come back there, but it was not possible because he had a cancer, so it was just a dream. But I want to meet these people and give back these pictures.
Great.
So I did. I, I went to Caracas. I met his friends, and one of them told me, oh, we can do that.
Mhm.
We can organize next time during a festival, St. John's Festival. We can do that, and I know the people of these photos that were taken 15 years ahead.
Oh, oh, oh.
So it was great because the children were adults, were parents, and the old people sometimes were passed away. And we did that exhibit with these new friends I got. and it was really a gift. A gift.
So basically, you started with South American.
I started there because there was something very appealing to me. But and because I didn't have anything, I was in a rented house in Spain, and the little furniture that I had, I gave back to my mom because it was family stuff. The rest, I sold it because you don't need to, when you want to travel, you don't need to be heavy.
Yeah.
So I just had a laptop and not much because South America it's hot and it's cheap. So it was not complicated to make a living there, and I because of the languages I was able to translate and to work doing translations and teaching, for example, French in Venezuela. But because Venezuela was a very violent place, I was working there from time to time, and then I get to know Ecuador, which is the country of the volcanoes.
Volcanoes.
Yes, it's wonderful. There's everything. And there's the coast, there's the mountains, and there's one of my favorite things, which is Amazon River.
Amazon River, yeah, of course, the
And
biggest.
that was,
largest.
I think, the greatest experience you can have, because it's like the beginning of everything, of life, of a sacred place, and that was a very good thing.
All right. So after Ecuador, where? Yeah. For how long you stayed in South America?
Well, I stayed for 7 years.
For 7 years. And
Yes.
after that?
After that, I was fond of South America. I wanted to buy a house and to live there, but I visited my mom, and when I was traveling, she passed away.
Oh, so sad.
So it was like, oh my God. And we are 5 children. We had a problem with the, well, that happens.
That happens in every family.
We have a problem with
family issues, I can understand.
family issues. Okay. So I realized that my trip in South America was over.
Okay.
Because it was finished. It was over.
Then you came back to Spain.
I came back to the family problems. And it was, I was really happy because it was very complicated, but I didn't run away. I was strong enough after my long American journey to say, okay, I have to stay. I have to solve. I have to face what's going on, and also because of Indian teaching, I thought it was my karma.
Really?
Yes.
I also believe in karma a lot. If you do good deeds, good things will happen to you.
Yes, I think it was okay. You have had the nice part. Now you have the tough part. And it was good because I was feeling that, well, of course I was not feeling very well because on one hand, because I had insomnia, I was coming from a place where it was very easy to live with a little money, and Europe was really, really expensive. Lawyers were really, really expensive. So it was, oh my God. And I had insomnia. So a friend of mine came and told me, don't worry, I have the solution. The solution is in India. I know a wonderful doctor who lives in Kerala,
Okay.
and he is an Ayurvedic doctor,
Ayurvedic, yes.
and he can fix you. And I said, but that's wonderful, but it's impossible because I don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, don't worry, I will borrow you the ticket, so you will give me the money back when you could be able to do that. I said, oh my God. I said, okay, let's go. I went there, and it was heaven. The doctor was turned to be a dear friend, Dr. Harikumar Bhaskar from, I met him in the hospital of Aramula in Kerala, and he was like a healer. Well, the Ayurvedic treatments were wonderful, and what I recovered was not only insomnia, but from self-esteem, because I really felt great. I really felt on my strength. It was like, that's it. Now I can do anything. I really feel good. And every morning at 3 in the morning, I was hearing the temple, who was closed, and all the mantras and the songs, and it was very nice.
All right. So, how did you thought like you should go to India? What thing made you think about India?
Well, I think that India is India's. There are a lot of Indian. Depending on where you go, you find something.
Yes.
Different people, different languages, everything different. So it depends on what you want. So I think it's on the contrary. What are you looking for? So you have to go there and not there. I thought that Kerala was the easy India because it was very calm in the countryside, and also because of the tax of students, so alphabetization, and a lot of people was working abroad, so they had like a certain comfort and well-being that you don't find that everywhere, of course.
All right. So, as you have been to India for how long, ma'am?
Well, that time it was like 2 months and a half.
2 months and a half.
But then 2 years after, I came back again because the effect of Ayurveda should be you have to go not do a panchakarma and then wait for several years, but to do it that more often. And it was really the second time I came back, and I went to Madras. I went to
Madras,
yes, Pondicherry,
yes. Great.
and Madurai.
Madurai also.
Yes, I visit the temples, took pictures. It was really.
And what else places?
That time, that was all. But in my first experience in India, on the 80s, it was long time ago. It was the north of India, included Ladakh and Kashmir, and Jammu and Himachal Pradesh, and Delhi, of course, and Rajasthan. And well, little by little, I think that I should like to discover more places.
You visited more places than me in India, you know.
But visiting, it's you're just on a run. You have to. That's why I like it to stay in the Ayurvedic place, because I was living with the therapist. I was sleeping there, watching TV. So it was eating Indian food. It was like being part a little bit of
purely Indian.
Yes.
All right. So, what thing do you like the most about India?
Well, I think that India has so many things that it's almost impossible to say one. But I think that what is very attractive for me is that India, the spiritual India, is like a soft power.
Exactly. Good.
It's the way to change your view of. I think it's a way to widen your perceptions. It gives you a hint more. There's more grace. There's color. There's a magic. There's a taste. There's a smell. There's something that is a way to be on a to have something that you don't get anywhere. You just get that there. Just also visiting a temple, or I don't know. I just go and I just enjoy, and I really feel very happy when I'm there.
All right, then that's great. India is really spiritual, as I have also felt in these days. And do you practice meditation?
Yes, I practice yoga. And I started with Buddhism. But then I discovered that yoga is much more closer to me, and especially Hatha Yoga, Satyananda way. Yes. But I think that it's like a tailored for your soul. You have to try and try and try, then you find something which is.
Now it has arrived in European culture also, like yoga, meditation.
Yes, it took a while, and what happened is that very often you have yoga sold as a performance, as a sport, and it's something completely different. It's a way of seeing life. It's a way of being, and it's also a way of living a transformation inside your soul and mind. So after yoga, you will not be the same.
I'll practice yoga for sure.
Yes.
So, like you said, you visited South America, India, and how many countries in Europe?
Well, those that are around the Mediterranean, I mean France, Belgium, Morocco, Egypt.
So many, even you can
so
count.
Many, Germany and Benelux and Holland and England, Ireland, Sweden, Poland.
I wish I could go to these places. So there are so many countries you visited. So which country you like the most? You want to stay over there?
I should like to spend some time in India right now. So because of my studies, I should like to go to Calcutta. And also to Varanasi and to my friends' places also.
Yes, Madhya Pradesh.
Plus Kerala, so it's a long list, and
long list.
It doesn't matter, it's okay.
That's great. So now, what are your future plans? I'm really interested to know that.
Well, I don't know, because plans are just what's next. I mean, I have wishes, but what is important is to do what you have to do at the right moment. So you have to not just put your desire, but just listen, just shut up and see what's now the important thing to do. And I think that now is just, well, for me it's just studying, preparing my exhibition of ceramics and working, otherwise any other thing would not be possible. And earning a little bit to go to India.
For sure.
Okay.
So it's been 7 years in Spain. No, 7 years
In South America.
South America.
Yes.
Then again you came back to Spain. You stayed for how many years in Spain?
30.
13 years.
Yes.
And
30.
30.
Yes.
All right, such a long time. And then
I'm old.
and then after 30 years of staying in Rome, Spain again, and then you came back to Italy. When?
I came because of the family problems, but now I will see. Because of this COVID situation, it's like, let's say, you cannot do plans. You have just to be strong inside. That's the main purpose.
So how long?
I don't know. It's not important, the place.
How long have you been in Italy?
I have been in Italy 24 years from at the beginning when I was born, and then I left, and then now 3 years more or less.
Long time, such a long time. So which culture do you like the most? Spanish culture? As you said, you're half into Spanish, so.
But it's impossible to separate them because my mom was Spanish, my dad Italian. So when you are born in a double culture, it's always you like nice things of one and nice things of the other, and you don't like bad things. So you don't like the way they scream in in Italy. You don't like you don't like the narrowness of some Spanish point of views, and so it's you just pick the good things. Why you don't need to have everything? You just choose.
Great. So now I think we should end it up here, and I just wanted to ask the last question. What message do you want to give to the younger generation?
Okay. I should like to tell them that it's a very tough moment that we are living right now, but the main purpose, I think, could